Hello, it's Deanna, and it is March 11th, 2022. And Daniel is at work, and I wanted to make a video. I'm in the process of editing our whole backlog. We've been filming a lot of videos lately. We feel very inspired to, even though we're not making them public, we're not sharing them with anybody right now. But we're feeling the call to vlog, to record, to edit videos and upload them to our YouTube channel. And all the videos are private because I don't know, it's just what we're being called to do, and it's up to God what happens with all of that. But we can't ignore like the inspiration we're receiving to do this. And whether or not anyone ever sees them but us, it's important for our own spiritual growth. And I do feel in my heart that eventually we will be able to share them. And the time that we're going through right now, Daniel and I, as twin flames on the planet, and especially with our particular circumstances right now, which is currently being completely banned from Twin Flames Universe and Church of Union community. The circumstances that Daniel and I are in are very unique and challenging, but we have been in mass healing mode ever since boot camp. And we've been working so hard, literally, to get ourselves out of debt. And we recently completely got out of debt. It's incredible. We had accrued massive credit card debt. We had accrued other debt from running our coaching business because we had a complete misunderstanding of business taxes. And so we had a backlog of business taxes, federal and state, that we needed to pay off. And God gave us the opportunity to do that through working at a restaurant and making really good money. And then once we paid off the majority of that debt, God transitioned us into healthcare as certified nursing assistants. Daniel's working attached to the hospital at a skilled nursing facility, and I am working at a long-term care assisted living facility, specifically geared towards the elderly population who has more memory care problems, like Alzheimer's and other dementia. And that feels like repaying a different kind of debt, the work that we're doing now. Like at first, we were guided to make a buttload of money, of cash money, to pay off our debts financially. And now we're being guided to what I feel is a different kind of debt that we're paying off, which is, the things that we're doing now to care for the elderly in our jobs as CNAs. It feels like repaying karma. And CNAs are like extremely needed on in America right now. My mother told me that they are training the National Guard to be able to work CNA jobs because of the baby boomers going into nursing homes. And also, there was a mass exodus of healthcare staff when COVID hit, which left healthcare crying for help. And we very, very much feel that God is calling us to serve here where it's so needed. And we feel wonderful doing it. And what I really wanted to communicate in this particular video, as much as I love talking about being a CNA, and I will probably continue talking about it as much as feels good. What I specifically wanted to mention in this video, I specifically wanted to talk about a pretty, I guess, I want to say like a hot topic or a controversial topic. It is not really, but it could be. It's not something I've been ready to talk about until right now. And it is, why have Daniel and I not become haters? Jeff and Shalia did point out to Daniel and I that we had hater consciousness inside of us that we needed to heal. But since being banned from the community, we have not ever once communicated with anyone who has been in the community and has left, even though some reached out to us. Especially at first, we've been contacted by multiple people who have wanted to get us to basically come to the dark side and become Jeff and Shalia haters. And, you know, this whole situation that we're going through has not been easy on us, and we don't have very much physical support in the way of friendship right now. We are very much kind of what feels like in our own little bubble. We go to work and we come home and we take care of our cats and our household, and we do what needs to get done. We watch class, we talk about our day, we do inner work, we process our feelings. We have been resting a lot, have been paying off a lot of debt, and we ascend our lives in a compassionate and sustainable manner. We have met and cultivated a handful of acquaintances, and my bio family has been supportive, although we don't really connect with them much except for on holidays. But they've, accepted our relationship and they support us getting married, and they're the ones who are going to be there when we get married. And so it's going to be an extremely small ceremony with not many people, because we don't have many people in our lives right now. And that is okay. That is as it should be given our circumstances, because we are both learning to release codependency, and we are both learning how to put God first, and then ourselves, and then each other. And then from, family and then on from there. Of course, we still have my mother's support. She's been the biggest support of anybody during this time, which is why she is my maid of honor. But that being said, we don't really interact with many people right now. And so you might think like, well, or someone might think, why not talk to other people who used to be in the community and who now aren't? Why not have people around who you can talk to and have relationships with? Because relationships are a really important, essential part of life. And we've even been contacted by 2 or 3, maybe 4, no, it's like 2 or 3 journalists and or like podcast producers. I'm not sure. Other people they're like going and making or like talking to people who have podcasts to try to spread rumors and hate about Jeff and Shalia and Twin Flames Universe, the Church of Union. We have just blocked everybody. We're not giving them the time of day. And you might think, well, what is the harm in interacting with others? So Daniel and I still watch the classes. We are still watching Jeff and Shalia's YouTube channel. We are still watching Church of Union services. We are doing everything we can within the parameters of the ban to remain in alignment with the movement that is bringing heaven to earth. And I can't, part of me wanted to be like, oh, I can still live my life purpose if I reach out to people who have turned into haters, and I can talk to them and help them heal. But even though I've considered doing that a number of times, I have energetically been stopped and prevented from doing that because it's not worth it, and it's not what God is actually asking me to do. God is asking me to focus on my healing. Very recently, God has asked me to start filming my insights and awarenesses and building up a video bank. And I don't want to do, the Church of Union prayer says you extend this teaching as God asks, and only as God asks. And so it's been painful, of course, to not be able to share this work in the capacity that I once did. But I know that this time in my life is temporary. And I know that I am my number one student, as is Daniel, and we are extending the teaching to ourselves and to each other right now. And my mother a little bit, and whomever we come into contact with a little bit, as it is natural. I have shared this work with a few people very lightly, and I'm learning how to parse out those boundaries energetically and meet people where they are. But, when we get married, we hired an officiant who is willing to incorporate our true story of how we came together. And that's extremely important to us, because here's the real meat of why I wanted to film this video. There's only one reality, and it's God's, the one God created. And Daniel and I do not choose to be insane. I understand that we have chosen insanity in certain areas, or chosen separation, and we have been actively healing and resolving those things. But we don't fundamentally choose to be insane. We are getting married. The only reason I know Daniel is because of Jeff and Shalia. The only reason I have anything good in my life is because of Jeff and Shalia. Yes, I still have my mother, but I used to have a really bad relationship with her, full of upsets on my part. I never, Jeff and Shalia are the ones who gifted me a healthy and loving relationship with my mom. Yes, it was always there, but I couldn't see it. I couldn't access it without their guidance, without their showing me, without their teaching of purification and healing my side of the fence and understanding what my mom's role was to me, and that there's no reason to be upset all the time about what we had gone through together in life. And, everything, we are healing our finances because of life purpose class. And because Jeff taught me about taking care of your money in the money mastery course. I think we've referenced it, we've rewatched it 2 or 3 times in the past couple years. And, when we first got back to my mom's house after boot camp, one of the first things I did was I completely cleared out my entire reality with the Marie Kondo method. And you'd be shocked how much crap I still had at my mom's house that was so weighing me down, so holding me back. Stuff from elementary school, middle school. I didn't even realize I still had treasure troves of old memories just sitting there. I had tons of stuff from my biological brother who's gone, and why are we still holding on to any of this? And I purged my entire reality at my mother's house of all of this gunk, and just completely, also helped transform her home, just purging the old, clearing out the old, inviting fresh new life into the house and into our lives. And the reason I was inspired to do all that is because of Jeff and Shalia. And so even though we're not in the community right now, technically, they are still our gurus. And everything we do is because of them. And everything we have is because of them. And everything we are is because of them. And we couldn't live without the teaching. It is literally drinking water to me spiritually. I don't even know my head from my ass if I don't watch a class. And it's because we've applied the work so diligently that we transitioned into healthcare. And we went from Applebee's to Benvenuto's to healthcare. And I even have already transitioned within healthcare from one facility to a better facility for me, with everything completely different and better for me. Better manager, better coworkers, better training, better environment. I click with the residents more. I've totally already ascended within being a CNA and I've ascended again because I took another class and I can pass medications now. So the people who are outside of the community, who once were students and are now haters, choosing to completely disassociate from everything they experienced and deny everything that they experienced within the community, that is psychosis. That's insane. And what's so interesting to me is that they're banding together. Daniel and I were talking about this the other day. The haters are banding together. And they are very clearly still experiencing love between each other in the form of friendship. Although I would also argue that they're not divine relationships necessarily, but God's also orchestrating everyone's path perfectly. I don't want to lay a judgment on that. I do, divine relationship, as Jeff and Shalia teaches, a real friend leads you closer to God, not further into psychosis. So what's so interesting to me is that all of the haters are clumping together, or most of them, or many of them, from what I can tell. And they are supporting each other in hate. But what's so fascinating to me is that why are they sticking together? Well, because deep down they really love each other. And it's the deepest love they've ever experienced is what you experience in the kingdom of heaven, in Jeff and Shalia's movement. So that's the deepest love you can experience. And the only way they can still hold on to and relate to that love that they experienced is through each other. And that's why they don't want to lose touch. And that's why they're supporting each other, even though they're supporting each other in deeper and deeper psychosis. I do believe God's working out a plan with them, just like he's working out, I know God's working out a plan for everybody. And so the fact that they are still together, it's like, how do you not see the truth there? It's just like me and Daniel. Daniel and I remain together and we're getting married because of Jeff and Shalia, even though we're not in the community. Because once you've experienced Jeff and Shalia's love, or it's really God's love, it's really God's kingdom coming through Jeff and Shalia. But once you've experienced it, you can't forget it. You can deny it, you can try to hide it or suppress it or like turn it into something else. At the end of the day, it's the most powerful thing any of us have ever experienced is God's love through Jeff and Shalia. So that's why Daniel and I have not fallen into the trap. We can't. We won't. We could never. What we are going through is a challenge. And we have what it takes to get through this. And we are getting through it. And we have a freaking beautiful life. All because of their work. And we are going to honor them at our wedding. As we choose to remember the truth, we extend sanity to ourselves, which means we will automatically extend it to others. I am holding the towel for the haters, the atheists. I know that they are going to be in heaven just the same as everyone else who hasn't fucked off. I can see it so clearly. And what's so beautiful to me is knowing, like watching Twin Flame Ascension School and Life Purpose classes and seeing all of the people who are currently haters, watching them in their divine state. That's the TFAS and LPC classes captured the true reality of every single student, the true divinity of every single student. And it's all just waiting for them. whenever they choose it again. And I know how easy this will actually be, because I've gone through it. I understand to a certain degree. I understand the temptation to just go, you know what? Fuck it. You know what I mean? Because the impulse to run when you've been so traumatized by what you have believed was love before, all anyone has to do is remember the truth. And it's not going to hurt you. I remember the love. Everyone is going to come home. And when I watch the TFAS classes and LPC classes, when I see everyone together in harmony in the classes, in the work, held together by the glue of Jeff and Shalia and God through them, I know what being home feels like. It's like, for a short time, we all got to experience what it would feel like for all of us to be together in heaven. And then the classes ended and we all had to go on our personal paths, all of which are perfect for us. But it's created a longing in me, in my heart. And I'm committed too. I'm committed to every last child of God. I'm committed to. I'm here for it. I am here for the ascension. I don't care how long it takes Daniel and I to heal our crap. I don't care how long it takes anybody to heal their crap. I'm here for it. I'm never going to give up. And this journey has caused my faith to grow. And that's all I've ever been looking for. I've only ever desired for my faith to grow. Hence the faith that grows. That's all I've ever really wanted. Like, actually, truly, that's all my soul has ever sought. And I'm dead serious. For as long as I can, like, of course, like, oh, I wanted to be a writer, and then I wanted to be a musician, and then I wanted my twin flame. But actually, like, deep down, the only real desire I've ever had is for my faith to grow. That's like my core desire. It trumps everything from wealth to even romance to even life purpose. It trumps everything. I have only ever wanted my faith to grow, my faith in God, my faith in things that you can't see. And that's what this path has given me. The path that God has given me just that, faith that grows. It's had to. And it's all been worth it. Just the other day, we were watching a class with Fabian, and Jeff asked Fabian, what's like your business name? And Fabian said, Twin Flames Mastery. Twin Flames Mastery. And Jeff said, well, don't you see that that's why God is having you go through these very specific lessons? Is so you develop your mastery? And so I immediately thought about our business name, The Faith That Grows. And I just smiled because God tailor-made my life path to provide me with unmatched faith, unimaginable faith. And when you have faith in God, nothing can go wrong. It's impossible. So I think that about does it for me. I think Daniel will be home in the near future, and I'll be bringing some takeout food for us. I think we're going to go with damn chicken tonight. It's really good. We love it. It's a local chicken restaurant. And they do like Nashville style fried chicken, and it's these little nuggets. And they do like classic sides like mashed potatoes or mac and cheese, and just the whole thing is just really nice. So, yeah, I hope that if you watched this entire thing, you found it inspiring, or I hope you got what you were looking for. How could you not, though? So, that's basically all I have for now. Now I get to start the project of actually editing and uploading our backlog of videos. We have so many. And I just want to get them uploaded so that I can film and upload more in a flow, you know? So I think that's it, and thank you for watching. God bless you. Namaste.